I'm 75 years old, and I never imagined I would ever need to go there, at least not at this point in my life. Yet life is full of unexpected turns, and the experiences we never plan often teach us our most valuable lessons. At first, I thought of the nursing home simply as a temporary place to rest and recover. But to my surprise, those 3 months completely transformed how I view life, and the things I once believed I clearly understood. At the nursing home, I met all kinds of people. Some had lived there for years, some were visited occasionally by family, and far too many were entirely forgotten, living silently day after day. Seeing this made me reflect deeply on how we connect with one another and the choices we make along our journey. Some residents found peace and embraced their later years with calm acceptance, while others carried heavy regrets about things left undone or relationships that slipped away. Through late-night chats, shared life stories, and long nights of reflection, I realized that whether you're young or already climbing life's final hill, everyone faces challenges and learns lessons of their own. That's why I want to share 7 practical insights I believe anyone, no matter their age, should keep in mind. Because on any given day, we can grow older, and when that moment comes, the only question left is, how will you live the rest of your years? Lesson 1. Loneliness is the cruelest ailment of old age. When I first walked through those doors, I assumed I only needed a place to rest. But within days, I realized that the emotional wounds of abandonment ran far deeper than any physical illness. Each morning, the first sound I heard wasn't birdsong or a friendly greeting, but the ticking of a clock in an empty room. The day would pass with silent meals, hours spent reading alone, and afternoons gazing at sunlight streaming through the window. Around me were residents who had lived here for years without a single visitor. Their children were busy, their friends had passed on, and all that remained was a group of kind caregivers who, despite their best efforts, could never replace a child's laughter or the warm call of grandpa or grandma. Loneliness doesn't just chill the heart, it erodes our health. I watched my roommate's eyes grow listless as he spoke less and refused meals. Others suffered sleepless nights or rapid physical decline. Numerous studies confirm that lack of social connection dramatically increases the risk of depression, high blood pressure, and even stroke. This realization made me regret how much of my life I had devoted to work and prestige, neglecting to nurture meaningful bonds. If I had a second chance, I would prioritize time with my grandchildren, sharing jokes, offering warm embraces. I would host family dinners not just for food, but to listen and connect. To anyone with aging parents or grandparents, here's my plea. Don't wait until it's too late to understand the power of conversation and a comforting hand. After all, family love is the only medicine that truly banishes loneliness, restore the elderly to a place of belonging and worth. Lesson 2. Health is our most precious asset. That simple phrase carried weight I only understood when I watched a fellow resident, once the owner of vast real estate holdings and luxury cars, reduced to a single bed, unable to feed or move himself. He was a successful entrepreneur who had traveled the world and sealed multi-million-dollar deals. Then a stroke struck, and suddenly his body no longer obeyed him. Every routine, from scooping a spoonful of food to changing clothes, depended entirely on nursing staff. In that moment, it hit me. Wealth, fame, and career achievements mean nothing without health. During the days I spent helping him, I saw the sadness in his eyes when he couldn't lift his head to speak, and how his once bright smile faded each time someone had to rewrap his wounds. His hands, once used to sign billion-dollar contracts, were now curled up by his side. I thought back on all the mornings I had skipped my runs, or skipped meals to work late at the office. Was it really worth trading my well-being for one more deal or one more business trip? Medical research confirms that regular, moderate exercise, a balanced diet, and a positive mindset can drastically reduce risks of stroke, heart disease, and chronic illnesses. If I could rewind time, I would wake up earlier to walk, fill my plate with vegetables first, cut back on alcohol, and spend 10 minutes meditating each day. Health is true wealth isn't just a proverb. It's the guidepost for every decision. Only with good health can we savor our successes and care for those we love. Invest in your health today, because no amount of money can buy back the years you lose once your body fails you. Lesson 3. Material things will eventually lose their meaning. In life, We often spend our youth in relentless accumulation, working around the clock and shopping without pause, then believing that one day, once we own the big house and all the luxury items, we'll finally feel complete. Yet even when those possessions sit neatly in our grasp, our craving for more never stops. Then one day, you wake up and realize you no longer need them. I once lived in a sprawling home filled with porcelain collections, oversized framed paintings, and bookshelves bursting with every volume I'd ever wanted. But when I moved into nursing home, I brought nothing more than a small suitcase of clothes, a personal journal, and a family photograph. The items that once gave me pride faded in memory. I understood then that an object only holds value if it conjures memories and emotions, not because some unspoken rule says we must own it. No matter how high-end, material goods are just things. They can't share conversation, offer comfort, or soothe a broken heart. As we age, they can't restore our health, grant us freedom, or fill us with true joy. Instead, the priceless treasures are memories of family gatherings, outdoor trips with old friends, and those simple moments of togetherness. I wondered, if I'd known I'd only keep a handful of sentimental items one day, would I still chase after luxury goods, or would I focus on creating meaningful experiences? We need to redefine wealth as not the quantity of cars, properties, or designer clothes, but the depth of our relationships, the warmth of a smile, and the sincerity of heartfelt connections. Rather than pouring money into stockpiling things, invest time in listening, sharing, and understanding. Learn to cherish simple moments, a cup of tea with loved ones, the laughter of grandchildren, or a peaceful sunset on the balcony. When you grasp that material wealth is fleeting, you'll feel lighter and freer at heart. Build memories, nurture love, and practice gratitude. Because at life's end, what you carry with you won't be a fortune in possessions, but a warm heart and bright recollections. Lesson 4. Independence is a priceless gift. At 75, confined within the narrow space of a nursing homeroom, I've come to deeply understand the true value of being able to care for myself. I used to take pride in walking to work, choosing my own clothes, and driving myself to appointments. But after a mild heart attack, I realized how even the simplest actions, putting on a shirt, tying my shoes, spooning food in my mouth, can become distant dreams when independence slips away. I vividly remember my roommate, a cheerful elderly man who once lifted water buckets and fixed things around the house with ease. Now, every time he wants to change into clean clothes, he has to ask a nurse for help. His face carries quiet sorrow, especially when he sees his hands no longer move as they used to. That look haunted me many nights, as I asked myself, if one day I lose the ability to care for myself, how will I feel? Independence isn't just about physical movement. It's about the right to decide how you live each day. I saw some seniors grow despondent and stop eating simply because every meal was placed in front of them by someone else, at times that didn't suit their body clocks, with food they didn't choose. Losing the power to make even the smallest decisions made them feel invisible, and with that, they lost the will to keep going. In contrast, the elders who still maintained some autonomy, even at their advanced age, were noticeably more joyful and resilient. They washed their faces, brushed their teeth, picked their own books. One gentleman insisted on dressing every morning in his old-fashioned style, carefully buttoning each shirt. That sense of self-determination preserved their dignity and faith in themselves. I've come to realize that when we're healthy, we often take our ability to do things ourselves for granted. We assume it's permanent, until illness or a small accident proves otherwise. So cherish every steady step, every simple motion of your hands, and actively preserve them through movement, light exercise, and mental alertness. Because once independence is gone, you'll know that nothing compares to the ability to steer your own life. Treasure and protect that gift starting today, because no amount of money or attentive care can ever replace the self-worth and dignity that come from doing things on your own. Lesson 5. Happiness comes from simple things. In the quiet white halls of the nursing home, I met an 85-year-old woman whose smile never seemed to fade. When I asked her the secret to her happiness, she simply said, "I don't dwell on what I've lost. I cherish what I still have." That sentence struck me like a bell. It awakened me to the truth that happiness isn't found in some far-off destination, but in the ordinary moments right beside us. Every morning, she would rise early, brew a cup of hot tea, and quietly enjoy the sunlight filtering through her window. She told me that just feeling its warmth on her skin, hearing birds chirping in the courtyard, or taking a deep breath of fresh air was enough to warm her heart. In the afternoons, she'd chat with her roommate, swapping stories from her youth, laughing in a way that brightened the room. For her, even a brief conversation was a precious connection and a source of joy. It wasn't just her. I noticed many elders in the nursing home finding joy in life's simplest acts, a slow morning stretch, rereading a beloved book, or caring for a small flower pot by the window. These seemingly insignificant moments became their ticket back to cherished memories, easing the loneliness that sometimes comes with aging. Simple happiness also lives in a warm meal. Watching elderly residents savor stir-fried vegetables with toothless smiles reminded me of family dinners back home, not gourmet dishes, but full plates surrounded by laughter and the aroma of freshly cooked rice. In the nursing home, shared meals were filled with chatter and kindness, bringing warmth to everyone present. There's joy in opening your heart. 2. A gentle hug, a held hand, or a sincere word of encouragement. I ask myself, why is it that in youth we chase after grand ambitions, forgetting that the most genuine joy belongs to those who pause and appreciate the now? Once I understood that happiness doesn't need to be grand, I began a new habit, writing down one thing each day that warmed my heart, a short poem, a soft melody, the call of grandpa from my grandchild, or simply a glorious sunset. It taught me to slow down, be grateful, and pay attention to the beauty that often goes unnoticed. In the end, it's these simple things that reveal to me a timeless truth. Happiness isn't a destination. It's the journey we walk through each day. And to walk that journey with joy, just begin by opening your eyes, breathing deeply, and smiling at the little things around you. Lesson 6. Forgiveness brings peace to your own heart. At the nursing home, I've seen many people carry the weight of unresolved anger and pain from the past. One elderly woman would tear up every time she spoke of a long-standing conflict with her late sister, her heart visibly aching with regret. Another man hadn't seen his closest friend in years, yet still couldn't shake the sting of bitter words exchanged long ago. I began to realize that it's not the past itself that holds us back. It's our unwillingness to let go. One afternoon, I sat beside a woman who hadn't spoken to her son in over a decade due to an old misunderstanding. She barely ate or slept, spending her days mentally replaying accusations and hurtful words. I gently asked her, "Do you think your son would feel happy knowing you still carry this anger?" She said nothing, but the sorrow and worry in her eyes said everything. It became clear to me, forgiveness isn't about excusing others. It's about setting yourself free. Psychological studies have shown that holding on to resentment increases the risk of anxiety, depression, chronic stress, a weakened immune system, and even heart disease. And in the daily reality of the nursing home, it was easy to spot the difference. Those who learned to forgive, who could accept others' flaws and offer sincere apologies when needed, appeared lighter, slept better, ate more regularly, and were more engaged in community life. One woman told me, "I forgave her not because she deserved it, but because my heart deserved peace." That struck me deeply. Holding on to pain doesn't protect us. It only makes the wound deeper. Forgiveness is like opening a window in a stuffy room. It lets the fresh breeze of freedom and clarity in. If you're still carrying resentment, try writing a letter, even if you never send it. Pour out your feelings and speak your truth, or simply whisper a quiet forgiveness in your own heart. Because once you release that burden, you'll feel a lightness in your soul, a newfound openness ready to welcome joy. In the end, I believe this. Forgiveness doesn't erase the memory. It illuminates it with love. Give yourself the gift of letting go, because inner peace is the most precious gift you can ever give yourself. Lesson 7. Every day is a gift. One quiet morning, I learned that an elderly man in the nursing home had passed away in his sleep. The night before, he'd sat with us at dinner, sharing youthful memories before dozing off. When I woke up, his chair was empty. That moment shocked me. We can never predict what tomorrow will bring. Before coming here, I was always busy, telling myself when I had time, or one day I'll do it. Yet among these residents, all in their 70s and beyond, No one dares promise a tomorrow. They understand that the last moment can come at any time. So every present minute is priceless. I began to change my own habits. Instead of lounging in bed each morning, I rushed to the balcony to breathe in fresh air and watch the sunrise, reminding myself to savor each ray of dawn. It might be my last. Throughout the day, I actively strike up conversations, sharing happy memories. At dusk, I mentally paint a picture of the sunset so I never forget its beauty. Here in the nursing home, we've found ways to honor the present. Someone organizes a small guitar recital. Another leads a group outside to admire the moon. These simple acts overflow with joy because they're done right now, not someday. I've learned how easily we waste time on unimportant things, only to regret lost opportunities. I once postponed calling an old friend, saying, "I'll do it tomorrow." But the next day, he heard I'd been admitted, and I lost my chance. That bitter lesson taught me, don't let your heartfelt words stay trapped on your lips. So treat each morning as a gift, a chance to love, to leave your mark, to live fully. Don't hesitate, don't promise, I will. Act today. Once that gift passes, you can't reopen it. Live, so that each day becomes your own triumph. In just 3 months here, I've learned a precious truth. Life isn't measured by years lived, but by how we seize every moment. Every sunrise gives us not just another year, but another choice to care, to love, and to live with purpose. When the time comes, may your only regret be that you didn't embrace each day more boldly. Thank you for staying with us, for listening, and for being part of this moment of understanding. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to leave a comment and join the conversation. If you found this video meaningful, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming inspiring content. And don't hesitate to share this video with someone you care about. Your share might just brighten their day or help them discover a new joy in life. Keep living fully and meaningfully, because you truly deserve it. We'll see you in the next video.